Hello Commanders, welcome back to another Elite Dangerous video with Commander Shiniku. Today we're going to be looking at grade 5 materials, specifically where to easily and reliably find them, and we're going to be covering manufactured and raw. We're going to save data for another video. With the release of the 3.0 Beyond patch, engineering became a lot more predictable and in many cases better, but it also became a lot more material hungry. Now thankfully for us, Frontier introduced the Material Trader, which, if used correctly, can make our lives a lot easier. As you can see in this small demonstration, trading down your grade 5 materials for others is way more efficient than trading up, and you can pretty much fill your inventory by finding grade 5 material. That's all very well and good, I hear you say, but finding grade 5 materials is hard enough at the best of times, never mind wasting what precious few you have to trade down to get grade 3 materials. But it needn't be that way. There is an easy and reliable way to find most, but not all, grade 5 materials, and that's what we're going to look at in this video. Looking specifically at grade 5 manufactured materials first, we have pharmaceutical isolators, military grade supercapacitors, military grade alloys, improvised components, proto-heat radiators, proto-radiolic alloys, core dynamic composites, and imperial shielding. We also have exquisite focus crystals and bioconductors. Now unfortunately those two items cannot be found using this method. They are mission only rewards, and you can find them most common at data delivery missions between Sophis and Ceos. So they're easy to find, you just got to travel a tiny bit further to get them. So to find the first group of items we need to find a system in the correct state with the correct allegiance, in all cases the highest population you can find. We're then going to cruise 100,000 light seconds from the main star, where we're going to throttle down to 100C, and we're going to look out for those all important high grade emissions. The correct state for the following items are: pharmaceutical isolators can be found in any system so long as it's in outbreak state. Military supercapacitors and military grade alloys, again, allegiance is not important, but the system must be in war. Improvised components can be found in independent systems in civil war state. Proto-heat radiators and proto-radiolic alloys can be found in any system in boom state, although I find them easier and more reliable to find in alliance-aligned systems in boom state. Core dynamics components can be found in Federation systems in boom state. And last but not least, imperial shielding can be found in Empire control systems in boom state. So let's demonstrate this by getting out there and finding some pharmaceutical isolators. So first thing we're going to do is go to eddb.io. You can use either your mobile or your computer. You're going to use the systems tab to find a system in outbreak state, and we're going to filter to find the highest population. Let's see what we find. There you go, prime candidate, nice and close to the bubble. System is HEBO. Let's go and see what we can find. So we're now at HEBO, and first thing we're going to do is we're going to set our filters to filter out anything except stars and signal sources. And what I like to do is I like to aim for the star cluster at the center of the galaxy, so you always know you're traveling away from the star. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set at full throttle until we approach approximately 100,000 light seconds, and we're going to ignore absolutely everything until we get there. Typical flight time is about 3 to 4 minutes. I'll catch you once we're there. So here we are approaching 100,000 light seconds from the main star, and we're going to throttle back, and we're going to throttle back between 100 and 120C. The reason for that is quite specific, is any faster than that and those signal sources are going to whip past faster than you can select and scan them, and they won't respawn when you turn around. So now it's just a case of sitting and waiting in a straight line, you don't need to do anything, and waiting for high grade emissions to pop up. Normally it doesn't take very long. So after about 6 minutes of cruising, what should pop up? Some high grade emissions. So let's see what we find once we drop into it. you know, 3 lots of pharmaceutical isolators. That's 9 in total. So all we do now is we aim for the centre of the galaxy, go back into supercruise, sit at 100°C and wait for the next one to pop up and profit some more. So the next thing we're going to look for is some core dynamic components. So we're going to select a Federation system in boom state, and my own personal preference is to look for one with a primary high-tech economy. This is not essential, but I find it works really well. We've got a prime candidate here, TZ Arteris, so let's go and see what we can find. So here we are in the TZ Arteris system. We've set our filters, we've cruised out to approximately 100,000 light seconds, and again we're just going to wait for those high-grade emissions to pop up and let's see what we find. So after only a few minutes of cruising, we've found our first high-grade emission source. We're going to drop in, let's see what we find. Now on this occasion we found proto-radiolic alloys, which if you remember is a grade 5 material, and I did say can appear in any system in boom state. So I've got plenty of those, but they would have been good to pick up if I'd have needed them. So let's carry on and see what we find next. Right, so I'm not going to cut the video this time. I'm going to show you how it happens in real time, just so you can see it's not the magic of editing. Let's see what happens. Another signal source. High grade. Fantastic, 3 units of core dynamic components. That'll add to my collection just fine. So, as you can see, finding these materials is not difficult, sometimes a tiny bit time consuming, but nowhere near the days, hours, or even weeks that people have spent looking for them. So, now let's look at raw material and how we can easily find the grade 5 versions of those. Now, traditional wisdom says to find grade 5 raw material, you go to EDDB, search for the material you want, filter by the highest percentage, fly off to the planet, land, profit. Now, while that's not necessarily wrong, it doesn't tell the whole picture. So when you're searching for materials, you'll see a planet has more than one material type. Ideally, what you're looking for is not only the highest percentage, but a planet that has as few materials as you can find, including the one you want. That way, the random number generator doesn't have as many materials to spread the items over, giving you a better chance, regardless of the percentage, of getting the material that you want. Or to put it simply, finding a planet with the lowest number of available materials, including the one you want. Another consideration is the planet's surface type. Now, there are many people who swear by the fact that you find better metallic meteorites near craters, but the truth is, it's a randomly generated event based on the distance you've travelled on the surface. So if you can find a smooth, flat planet and just drive in a straight line as fast as you can, you're going to maximise the chances to get the rocks to spawn. And spend less time doing this. In addition to driving around on planets looking for materials, there are a couple of other places where you can get grade 5 raw materials. We're going to be taking a look at the crashed Anaconda, and where you can get an unlimited supply of antimony and terrelium I think it's pronounced, but we're going to look at that at the end of the video. For now, we're going to go back to EDDB and we're going to look for Technetium. It's a material I actually need at the moment, so let's see what we can find. So we're going to put it in. I'm going to select planetary landings, yes. And now we're going to filter by percentage to see what we can find. So the highest we've got is 1.6. Now I happen to know that this planet is very rocky and we'll spend more time doing Homer Simpson rolls than we will actually finding technetium. So we're going to do something different. Instead we're going to come to this planet here, 12 Aquarii. Minnie loves to call it the duck planet because of the silhouette of a duck that used to be on the planet. It's gone now since the new terrains were launched in 3.0, but it's wide open plains where you can roam at full throttle and get those all important rock spawns as often as possible. So here we are in 12 Aquarii. We're just going to take a look at the planet we're going to. Here we go, so it's planet B1. There you go. Now these red spots here and here used to form the silhouette of a duck. Again, if you squint your eyes and are slightly crazy. But it's where we're going now. Exact coordinates will be provided later in the video. So whilst we're cruising what I like to call the Flatlands, I'm going to take one more opportunity to explain what's going on. So the way the game spawns rocks, and this is our best guess because no one knows for sure, is that it's a randomly generated event based on the distance you've travelled on the surface. So if you've got a wide open space, which you can see here, the space is in fact wide open and flat, you can spawn more rocks more often. Now that's not to say that the rocks have got any more or less content than they're supposed to have, but if you're spending time cracking open more rocks rather than tumbling down hills, you're going to get more materials faster. So here we are on the planet's surface. You can make a note of the coordinates. They don't need to be exact, but so long as you're in this rough area, you're in the right place. Right, it's time to put your money where your mouth is, Mr. Shinakuma, and let's see if these materials spawn as often as you say they do. I imagine my driving's going to be pretty terrible because I am filming and that's what happens. Let's go. As you can see, it's as flat as you like and you can just keep going. Now, bollocks. In theory, you can keep going for as long as you like without crashing, which I spectacularly did. We're definitely closing in on some rocks here. What we got? Ugh. Well, you can get technetium from these. Let's see if my luck holds out. No. What about this one? What am I doing? Right, what we got? Sucks. Right, and another one. And that's even worse. Right. Again, as far as you can see, it's as flat as you like. So we can just keep going in one direction, maximising the chance for the game to spawn us in some materials. Now we're on to something that's looking a little bit more promising here. What do we have? An outcrop suck. But again, all rocks carry the potential to have grade 5 material. Outcrops being the lowest, bronzite cordite being rubbish. one that I can't pronounce. Medesrenate? No, who knows? That one's not bad. But what we're really looking for is metallic meteorites. So again, we're going to set off in this direction. We've got some positive signals over there. It looks like there's a little outpost over there. I'm going to give that a wide berth. Brilliant. 3 metallic meteorites, a triple spawn. And look at all that technetium. So we're going to gobble that up. Now you can see we've been on this planet for less than 2 minutes now, and we've had 7 rock spawns. 8 rock spawns in fact. And that's simply because we've been able to travel in one direction uninterrupted, thus encouraging the random number generator to spawn us in some more rocks. So I actually need all of this stuff here. So I'm going to pick it all up. I might just speed up the video a little bit for you guys at home because you know how to pick rocks up. So there we have it, how to most efficiently get rocks to spawn on a planet in order to get grade 5 materials. It's not just about finding the highest percentage content. So now you know how to get technetium on a fairly reliable basis. Let's talk about the other method, the crashed Anaconda. Now this one is slightly different in that you're getting guaranteed results, and all you're going to do is log in and out of the same instance. I recommend solo because you're not going to bump into any other commanders doing the same thing as you. Otherwise it's likely you'll end up shooting each other and wasting your time. So you're going to open up your galaxy map and you're going to type in the system. I think it's pronounced Orre, it's spelled O-R-R-E-R-E. There it is. Set course, and I'll see you there. So here we are in system now. We're going to open up the system map and we're going to look for this planet here. And a good starting point if you've never been here before is to look for Gwyn survey. That's not where we're going, but it's in the right general direction. We're actually looking for a crashed Anaconda. Now once you've been there more than once, you can scan the ship and set yourself a marker, but for the first time it's a little bit difficult to find, as you'll see, but I will provide the coordinates when it's necessary. So I'm just going to speed up the footage a little bit here so we can get there quicker. As you can see, as I've been here before, I've got the crashed ship marker, so we're just going to use that to navigate to exactly where we need to be. Okay, so we're nearly there. As you might have seen in the footage, I put my ship's external lights on because it's going to get dark, really dark. So dark in fact that you can't see where you're going until you're almost in the ground. So I highly recommend lights. Now as you get closer and closer to the ground, in this black screen you're going to see just a glimmer of some broken thrusters, and as we get closer and closer, here we go, here's a crash site. Now you're going to want to land as close as you can on this hill because your ship is going to be providing the only light available other than the full beam lights on your SRV. Here are the exact coordinates of the crashed Anaconda if this is your first visit. So we're going to pop our lights on full beam and we're going to head over to the crash site and I'm going to show you what you're looking for. Now there's a lot of high value cargo kicking about. You can pick that up if you want, but we're looking for these 3 cargo racks only. So we're going to roll up on the first one here. Excuse my driving. There you go. Target it there. Come on, cannons, why aren't you firing? There you go. And we've popped that one open. Go to our contacts. Tungsten. Yeah, not so great, but again, not bad. Could be worse. So the second one can be found just behind this red container here. And we're going to pop that open. What we're going to find? Ooh, 2 antimony. Fantastic. Grade 5 material, get in. Going to pick both of those up. Then the last one is up on top of this hill. There you go, just up there. Again, poor driving by me. And what have we got? Ruthenium and tungsten. Yeah, that's a great. But again, if you're looking to fill your stores, it's a good place to start. I have no idea why I did that. Yeah, there's no excuse for that. God, I should edit this out, but I'm not going to, because it's so funny. Right, so we've collected all 3 cargo racks now. So as I said earlier, all we're going to do is we're going to log into a brand new instance of Solo. So here we are, back into a brand new Solo session, and wouldn't you know, all 3 cargo racks have respawned, ready to be looted again. So lights on full beam. Shoot this seemingly invincible box. What's it given us? Oh, another antimony. Thank you very much, I'll have that. One of the primary uses of antimony being in the upgrade of grade 5 shield boosters, so really useful to have a lot of those. So I'm going to jump off this cliff here and aim for this cargo rack behind this red box earlier, the second one we got before. Tiny bit better flying than last time, not much mind. And we're going to do a quick edit here because my phone rang, I needed to get that and I didn't stop recording. What's it given us? Some ruthenium. Not bad. And then we're going to pop around here and have a look at this cargo rack nearest the Anaconda. There is a grade 5 material we haven't seen yet that's located here. The one I struggled to pronounce earlier, Terrellium. Oh, speak of the devil, here it is. Now you can simply rinse and repeat this method as many times as you like. Again, I recommend solo sessions. I once spent an hour here and pretty much maxed out my stores for upgrades and gained even more material for the material trader. The only one I'm not sure in a good location for at the moment is polonium. I'll update you more if I find a really good source. I hope you enjoyed today's video. At the very least, you now know how to easily and reliably find all of the grade 5 manufactured material and the vast majority of the grade 5 raw materials. In my next video, I'm going to cover how to get all of the grade 5 data in order to complete the engineering cycle. Finally, no YouTube video would be complete without the creator asking you to like and subscribe. I am just starting on my YouTube journey, so it really would help me out. So, if you see me in space, feel free to send me a message, invite me to a bit of PvP. I always find that fun, but until then, catch you later.